G'day mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I've got to address what's going on with Stable Ronaldo. I don't know if you've seen his Twitter or you've seen anything else. It looks like he might not be able to play FNCS, and it's because of a name change, but I'll fully explain what all that means. We also finally have the answer. I talked about it recently. Who is Cypher PK and Nick Mercs going to be playing with an FNCS? They found their third, they found their trio, and things are looking really good for them. I also want to talk about the NA East FNCS warm-up we had today. It was a 6-round tournament that was pretty much meant to simulate like FNCS, and we had some pretty surprising results and some teams that I wasn't expecting that really popped off. Just before we jump into today's video, I have some super exciting news every week for this FNCS, so 5 weeks total. I'm actually gonna be running a giveaway. Normally when I run giveaways, I give away like a keyboard or a mouse or something. This time I wanted to do it differently. I'm gonna pick one winner at the end of every single week, and I'm gonna let you pick what prize you want. Any peripheral, anything under $300, and I will buy it for you. So a monitor, keyboard, headphone, mouse, controller, whatever you want, you get to win what you actually need. So the link will be in the description down below. It's completely free to enter. It's just following my other socials. So you guys on YouTube, go check out my Twitch, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. It's a win-win. This whole Ronaldo situation's a little bit weird, but I'll try to get to the bottom of it and explain it as best as I can. Basically, Ronaldo tweeted out this morning saying, most liked to reply will be my FNCS name throughout the whole thing. And then Clix took the chance to respond with NRG ClixFan69692. So this started pretty much a trend of heaps of pros tweeting out saying, changing my name to the most liked reply. Clix jumped on this and kept giving them different names with the variation of ClixFan, ClixFan42069, all this kind of stuff. And pretty much they were big pros too. It was Acorn, it was Reet, it was Ronaldo. Like, we're talking people who A, could win FNCS, and B, have huge followings. This then led Fortnite Competitive to actually make a tweet that was very clearly directed at this situation. Fortnite Competitive tweeted out, as FNCS kicks off, we want to remind players that Epic may restrict or change team and individual player tags or screen names for any reason. Players who choose to continue to ignore our naming rules will be banned. Now, I saw that, kind of saw that it was probably in reference to Clix, and I understood why. Before anyone freaks out being like, why is Epic doing this? Have a bit of fun. As someone who's going to be on the official broadcast, it is really, really difficult. If there was going to be 15 pros running around called ClixFan, you know, number, it would have made the broadcast really difficult. It does make it look a little bit less professional, and with this FNCS, with the millions of dollars they're putting up, I think Fortnite's really trying to gear towards having this as a competitive esport. And again, most other esports, this wouldn't fly. They wouldn't even have the chance to do it. If you tried to do it, you would probably either get a fine or get dropped from your team, because it does surprise me that orgs like NRG and stuff are fine with this, losing the recognition they pay so much for. Like, I guess it's gonna be, you know, NRG ClixFan6969, but it's surely they're not happy with that compared to NRG Stable Ronaldo, you know, the player they pay a salary for. So I get why Epic was doing this. It made sense in my opinion. I think most people saw it as in like kind of a, okay, fair enough, this would have been difficult. Reet didn't change his name, Acorn didn't change his name. This was all happening while I was on stream, and I thought that was going to be the end of it, until now, once I've ended stream, Ronaldo put out this video.
I'm gonna try to keep it really short. It's not really that big of a deal, but I recently got notified that I'm not allowed to have the name ClixFan69420 on my account because it's apparently impersonation, even though I'm not banned or given a warning yet on my actual account, as many people think I did. I've been told that if I actually play and I do qualify, I will get a warning, or if I've had a previous warning for whatever reason, which I don't really recall if I do, then it'd be further escalated or whatever. But my confusion is, the rule is that a name used by a team or player might not include or make use of Fortnite, Epic, or any other trademark, trade name, or logo owned by Epic, which it's not. And the name used by a team or player cannot be an impersonation of another team, player, streamer, celebrity, government official, Epic employee, or any other person or entity. Which really doesn't make any sense, because that means you'd have to ban everyone who's not in FaZe, who has the name FaZe in their name, NRG, any org, just any org name, right? That's not actually on the org, that's impersonation. Is it not? It's impersonating the brand, which is a team. Or if they have YouTube in their name or Twitch in their name, it's the same thing, is it not? Because it's a brand. You're impersonating a brand. It really doesn't make that much sense to have the name ClixFan. I'm not really causing anything. And I know people are going to be like, oh, you're making it such a big deal. Well, it is a big deal, because I can't even plan another account, because I realized I can't have the same tax thing So if I do good, or if I do make money, I can't even use the same tax info. And I have to get an account to Champs. And yeah, that's really it.
It is a pretty tough situation, and if I didn't see Ronaldo say that he talked to Epic about giving him a warning, I think that he's all just good to play on his normal account. I think the issue on his normal account now is even if he plays on it, it will be like an actioned username. If you miss this whole kind of situation, I think the main reason this rule came into place in the first place was because Epic was sick of seeing everyone have like soft aim in their name, cheater, aim hacker, like just things that you really shouldn't have in your name. And whenever those people got actioned, their name would become like user 19736AC. So I don't know if Ronaldo just maybe can't play on his main account, but once the name has been actioned like it has, I don't see why he'd get a warning if he then plays on it. I feel like there's been some miscommunication. I'd be very surprised if tomorrow it hasn't been sorted and Ronaldo's not just playing on his main account, but I definitely wanted to talk about it because it has a lot of people asking my opinion on it, and I genuinely do think, as someone who I'd consider has a pretty reasonable stance on most things in the community, I understand why people are upset that Ronaldo might get a ban warning for this, but I also wanted to maybe shed some light on the actual impact that changing these names can have, because it does seem like a little bit of harmless fun, but it does make things like the official broadcast really difficult. And if I can give any advice to you guys as pros, don't change your name. You might change your name. I mean, the perfect example is Sozman from OCE. He qualified for the World Cup. That day, he changed his name to Rona. Again, it wasn't any reference to Corona. Obviously, don't freak out, but people seem to always think it's weird. Either way, though, he qualified for World Cup and no one knew who he was. As far as his branding goes, no one knew who it was. His YouTube didn't blow up, his Twitter didn't blow up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth changing your name because it makes so much drama for other people, but also hurts yourself. I'm not saying Ronaldo deserves a ban warning over this. I'm not saying Clix is a bad person for doing this. It was a bit of fun, but just wanted to make sure people understand why Epic does have a stance on it. Moving on to a more positive note, we did get the announcement of who Cypher PK and Nickmercs trio will be, and it's none other than G2 Coop, which is super exciting. They were looking for someone that could IGL them with decent competitive experience, but someone who could also hold their own in fights, and it looks like they got just that. Coop has been struggling a little bit to find a team coming into this FNCS, obviously known for being a phenomenal solo player, the only person to ever win a solo major back-to-back. He won DreamHack, and then he won solo FNCS back-to-back, which is super impressive. I don't know how the team dynamic is going to go. I don't think Coop has as much IGL or leading experience as what I'd like, but at the same time, he's not playing with two complete noobs when it comes to competitive. Cypher PK and Nickmercs have been some of the best players in their time, and there's no reason why they can't do that again. If they learn to work well together, if they figure out their roles, this looks like a pretty scary team. And if you're part of the M-Fam or Cypher PK family, at least you know it's going to be good content. Coop's a good guy who's a bit older. It's not going to be a squeaker kid screaming in their ears as they play FNCS. So either way, I'm super excited for it. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. If you guys didn't see, there was no official FNCS warm-up this time around. A lot of people wanted it to be added after last week got delayed and moved to this week, but I think due to the fact that it got delayed because of the queue bug, people not being able to queue into tournaments, Fortnite was a little bit worried to announce a warm-up, but East Open stepped up, which if you guys don't know is the same entity that runs Elite Scrims and NAE, so it has all the pros, it has all the practice involved in one place, and they decided they were going to do their own warm-up. They did qualifying rounds just like FNCS would be, and then grand finals were today. It wasn't 12 games over 2 days, it was 6 games on 1 day, and the results were super exciting. You had quite a few teams in there that, you know, were a bit more on the underrated side. You had big teams missing out on qualifying through semis like Zate, Saf, and Stretch. I wouldn't look into this insanely closely as far as who qualified, who didn't, or even the results of the finals, but it's still at least worth a look because there were some big teams playing, and we had some big results that I really wanted to talk about. We had Colazo, Class, and D-Roller come in first on 161 points, and this has been the first time we've ever seen them with uncontested caddy. If you've watched any Elite Scrims, you've watched any of the tournaments, they are always going toe-to-toe with COD Genesis, Qua, and Shades team every single game without fail. I have watched this spawn fight at least 100 times, but seeing them without it, they managed to win the tournament. And again, worth noting, we had a pretty new, relatively unknown team, Teo, Chimp, and Tab come in second, and then we had Bizzle, Clix, and Booger coming in third. Kanata, Macwood, and Bucky in 4th, Centered, Commandment, Edgy in 5th. So the big names were up there. It was a good tournament, and it was good practice. It was active Surge every single game except for the last game. And I wanted to touch on what I talked about recently in my most recent video about Bizzle, Clix, and Booger really struggling on their Storm Surge, and that's why I couldn't really judge how well they were going to work as a team. Well, they've already got that sorted. Not once today did they go down to Storm Surge. They played really well. Couple of stupid mistakes they made in a couple of games, which I know they know were stupid mistakes, but other than that, they were looking really strong. I have high hopes for them coming into FNCS if they can keep figuring out what they're doing. I love seeing Bizzle not try to hold on to any ego or any kind of make any drama about stepping away from the IGL role a little bit. They were talking on stream about how Bizzle's now the support player, and it seemed like a bit of a meme. I know that he's still heavily IGLing and making the decisions when it comes to mid game, but it does look like they're quite comfortable relying on Clix to tarp endgame and Booger to take on a bit more of a solid IGL role, despite him saying earlier that he didn't want to. So things are looking pretty damn good for this team. Now remember guys, now that FNCS is kicking off, I'll be streaming all of it live on my channel at twitch.tv/AussieAntics. I'm doing like 12-hour streams most days, doing viewing parties, watching all the tournaments, having a good time. So make sure you guys check it out. On top of that though, I will keep the daily uploads coming. Don't you worry. I am going to be doing an OCE recap and some more of a kind of get to know the players and teams in OCE, as well as just keeping up with everything that's relevant. So if you guys are liking the videos, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the whole Ronaldo name change situation. Do you understand why Epic did it, or do you think they're overreacting a little bit? If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.